I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. I would like to welcome Firozera. Hi.
Hi, good to hear from you.
It's great to hear from you. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Oh, hi, everyone. My name's Firozera. You can just call me Firo. I'm the disastrous kaiju VTuber from Australia, Gal. I'm also a member of the all-Aussie indie group, Virtual Anties.
Yes.
So we're here to save the day with our virtual antics.
It's good to hear from you. And I've interviewed a lot of fun folks from that country while doing these. And the folks, I wish you guys had better internet.
No, my internet's actually pretty good, actually. I was really lucky to get, there was a big upgrade a while back, and I was in a place that got one of the upgrades really early.
Well, good, because I was talking to a couple of folks, and I said, whoever brings good internet to Australia is going to be named the king for the rest of their lives.
Oh, for sure.
Well, it's good. When did you get started with the VTubing thing?
Oh gosh, let's see. It was about 2021. I got interested in it.
Yeah.
So I started off with like a PNG, and I commissioned a model, and then I found out my computer couldn't run it. My computer was too much of a potato at that point, so I had to wait a while, and then I had to upgrade my computer so that I could run my model.
Yes. Yeah. So
it took a little while. I got there though.
That's what I try to do with my wife. Says, darn, I bought this, and I'm gonna have to get something better, like the new computer, in order to run it. And she's like, "Oh, calls, budget it out." That sort of thing. So, were you interested in VTubers before that, or were you a content creator at all?
Oh gosh, so I'm a bit of an older content creator compared to a lot of other VTubers out there. I'll just put it that way. So I actually used to be I used to do more of the traditional sort of content creation back many years ago.
Yeah.
So back in the era of, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this time period, but like that guy with the glasses, Channel Awesome.
Oh yeah.
That sort of era.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was doing content around that period, and I was on a rival network.
A rival network at the time.
Yeah. So I was doing that, and then I had work. I got a job, so I was really busy, and then I kind of put it off, and then eventually I came back into content creation because I got involved with anime conventions and running those.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine also started a podcast, and she volunteered me to be the host. So I kind of got put into these situations where I had to learn a lot about technology, and then I connected with a friend of mine again, and she was an artist doing VTuber models, and I learned a lot from her. So I was like, okay, I can do this. I'll give it a try.
Excellent. So you got to be the host of the podcast, huh?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't know if you can find the episodes anymore. I think they've probably gone away. But oh gosh, if you listen to the first episode, you can hear how scared I am.
Yeah. Well,
I've never been a very confident person, but I learned a lot doing that.
Oh well, your voice is great for it, so I could see that.
Oh, thank you.
Going in there very quickly. Was it an interview type of segment, or was it just a gab fest, or what?
It was a little bit of both. So it was for a writing podcast. So we went over a lot of different topics on writing. So we hosted segments on different styles of writing or different elements of it. And then we'd also get somebody in and I would host it. So we go over different segments, and we'd also read out chapters of things people sent to us.
Oh, excellent. That sounds like a really good plan, actually. But that would be a lot of fun. Did you get more used to it as you went along? Did you get more comfortable?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm actually pretty good at reading scripts now. Like if you give me a long script, I can probably get it in one take within give me a few tries and I'll get it in one take.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I had to learn in radio over the years. I was in that for like 35 years, so it's a long time.
Oh, wow.
But you have to be able to, if you get like a 30-second or a 60-second commercial, that's what they usually were.
Mhm.
I hated 60-second commercials. Hated them. And I would try to get as much music as I could to shorten the amount of time I had to speak. But
Oh, I understand that.
yeah, yeah, a little jingle in and jingle out music there. But you had to learn very quickly if you're doing something that is a script, short or long, where to put the enunciations, where to uh, highlight a word or a phrase or that sort of thing. Because if you don't, and you just
Mm.
willy nilly go at it, it's not going to sound good at all.
Yeah, it's always going to sound very flat, like you're deliberately reading it.
Yeah, yeah, like AI sounds
Hmm.
when you see all those. That just grinds me so much to hear an
Yeah.
AI
All
announcer.
that TikTok voice.
Oh yeah, yeah, and
Absolutely hate.
yeah, and whenever they say live or live, it's always the wrong one.
It always is. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's always the wrong one, and that just throws it immediately like you couldn't tell already. I mean, we announcers, we are very cheap to hire. We- We'll we'll read your entire life history for a cheese sandwich. We're that much. We don't cost much. It probably costs more to get the
Mm.
AI than it does us at this point. I digress. So working with your voice like that, um,
Hmm.
I mean, you hadn't done that before, had you? You hadn't done anything voice wise before that.
Well, I had done the content creation beforehand, doing videos, that sort
Yeah.
of thing, but I had fallen so out of practice at that point because it had been quite a few years.
Hmm.
And then with the anime convention stuff, I had to get up on stage and do announcing, that sort of thing. But so that was a whole experience.
Oh
But
yeah.
podcasting, that was really different. And the idea that it was going to be spread out across the world, and I couldn't see the people I was talking to either.
Yeah.
Um, there's something more nerve-wracking about talking into the void than there is actually talking to people, like making eye contact with them.
Yeah. As long as for me, as long as it wasn't like too many people.
Mm, I'm not too bad with crowds, if anything.
Oh.
It's just the not having anything to connect with. It makes me nervous.
Yeah. For radio, it was always the other way around. Um, you knew you were going to have a certain amount of people, especially if you just happened to walk into a certain type of program. You didn't draw listeners; they were already there. Um,
Mm,
and you knew that they were out there, but you didn't have to see them. The unfortunate thing for both
mhm.
what you and I are doing is it's also live, and there's no
Yeah.
there's no safety net. So and
No. Well, I always try to make sure I play mistakes off as jokes.
oh
That's
yeah,
my thing.
absolutely, absolutely, and with the streaming type of thing now, you can if you've got that type of connection with your audience in your um, chat, you can I mean, you can play that off as anything you want, and it just kind of adds that little more of a connection that shows that you're not some computer doing all this stuff. There is
Hmm.
somebody back there, and I think it kind of makes a little endearing type of thing. Do you
Yeah.
find that to be the case?
Yeah, actually. We had a if you don't mind me going into this, actually,
Go ahead.
just last month, I was at at Australia's biggest anime convention called Smash,
Mm.
and I set up this big booth, and I invited a bunch of VTubers there, and it was really surprising because we had VTubers on a screen, and people could just walk up and interact with the VTubers on the screen, and it was really surprising that people thought that they were like a lot of people came over and said, "Oh my gosh, you're not AI." And we had to teach people about what VTubers were, so
Yeah,
it was really interesting. Yeah.
yeah. That's one of the things too that that when we talk about audiences for VTubers and such, the
Hmm.
there's still so many people out there that I think would enjoy this type of content that don't even know it exists yet.
Yeah, well, that was the whole point of the booth that I set up. So I called it the VTuber Interaction Zone because the whole point was to get the general public interacting, people who didn't really know about VTubers.
Mm-hmm.
Because generally, when you go to a convention and there are VTubers there, it's more like you choose to go there. But
Mm-hmm.
I just set it up and we just set it up in the middle of the floor, and people were walking past, and they could come over if they wanted.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point. So they come over and be like, oh, hey, you can see me, you can talk to me, let's interact, that sort of thing. What are you? Tell me about yourself, that sort of thing.
Just they scare people to death as they go.
Oh, there were some people that actually got really scared.
Yeah,
Because they thought they were just anime characters on the screen, like they were pre-recorded, and then they'd look at them and be like, "Huh?" And then someone would start wriggling it, like, and saying "Hi," because we had the ability to go between speakers or headphones.
Yeah.
So there were a few people who got scared and ran off.
That would be too. There would be too much temptation there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just stand there, not do anything for like 5 minutes, and then when somebody walks by, hey! Just
I had some people say that they called out to people that were in cosplay, like, "Oh my gosh, it's Miku! Hi, Miku!" And Miku would be like, "What? Where did that come from?"
of all characters, Miku couldn't relate to a VTuber. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Right?
So when you got that experience, I mean, running anything like that is a lot more behind the scenes than anybody realizes before they do it.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of an input for you to get into and find out what this could mean to you, VTubing. Yes, no?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've always been like, I've always wanted to put a lot more into VTubing than I got out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I do a lot of educational content,
Mm-hmm.
Trying to teach VTubers like how to more enjoy their journey
Mm-hmm.
as VTubers and
Yeah.
be like safe about it and get more out of it, really.
Yeah.
So I put a big focus on doing educational content and trying to make opportunities for VTubers, especially with how things are at the moment. And it's, well, we've seen like numbers go down across Twitch, and it's getting harder for people to reach out because, you know, there's so many algorithms trying to shut us out from being able to interact with people. So if I'm able to create more opportunities, I see that as a big win, honestly.
Yeah.
And a good way that I can ensure that VTubers are going to be around long after I'm gone.
Yeah. It sometimes seems like, you know, every platform, almost every platform, really looks for a way to shoot itself in the foot. And if not, they'll find somebody else's foot and shoot it off.
Definitely.
They really are trying to make this tougher for content creators, which makes no sense at all. It really doesn't. When right now the world is so small, and the opportunities are so big for folks to show what they've got, that talents that they've hidden, that wonderful singing voice that no one has heard, or you know, the personality that's been hiding there. You would think that these big places would just embrace it and try to, you know, cultivate it as much as possible, but it seems the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm doing what I can to reach out to more conventions to get them more interested in hosting VTubers. Because I mean, we're easy to host so long as they've got the technology and they got people who know how to do the logistics.
Oh yeah,
Most VTubers will just do things for free if you just want them, like, ask them. They don't want like to be paid. They just want to be there and entertain people. They're all very passionate about that.
VTubers and old radio guys are pretty close in that regard.
Yeah.
We'll both live off of peanuts for a week if they're free. I literally did that once. But it's what you get out of it in the long run makes a big difference. And I think that if you can find out some way for people to not just enjoy themselves on, but grow at the rate they want to, or at a rate that's satisfying to them, that'll make a big difference. Because there's going to be some folks who are just happy to go on there and just, you know, once a month do something. There's some folks who are going to be more serious of it, and there's some people who are going to, you know, sell their house and go for it. You know, I don't recommend that in anything, but there's still going to be a wide range of people. So I really like the fact that you're trying to kind of steer folks in the general right direction this way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely like hobby VTubers and there's career VTubers. I have seen some people who are like, oh, I've talked to my family and they said, okay, I've got 2 years to make this a thing. That's definitely, I've seen posts like that before. I've seen plenty of people graduate since I've been around for a while. I've seen it all, really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Some people, especially those that came in at like the 2021 era, like the very start of
Mm,
like VTubing getting big in the West.
right.
Like people came in with such huge aspirations, and there's a lot of people from back then I just haven't seen
Yeah,
anymore. I don't know if
yeah,
they've moved on or they've just maybe changed
yeah.
personas or something. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's too now with what has happened with the corporation type stuff here recently that
Hmm.
people are kind of going back to the independent sort of thing and seeing what they could do there, um, and that might make it a little make it a little more realistic for folks starting off VTubing because they'll see signing a contract that basically gives your entire life away probably isn't the best idea. Um,
Yeah, true.
yeah, and and
Um,
and maybe you should dip your toe in before you dive in.
yeah. Well, actually, when I started, I actually did audition for a couple places.
Hmm.
There was a really nice agency. I really miss them. They had a really good idea. They were called Heaven Rend.
Mm,
Unfortunately, like they're gone. I got through to like one of the last rounds, but I didn't make it. I'm
mm,
not sure if it was because I was Australian or not.
yeah,
But it's just like so many agencies from around that period or even later have just completely gone now.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I was actually fortunate enough to be part of the VShojo auditions
Mm,
last year.
yeah.
So that was quite an interesting experience. I feel like I probably wasn't qualified to be there. I got through to like the second last round, strangely enough.
Hey, well,
Um,
I mean that's something.
yeah, but I think it was just lucky I got there because it gave me a good insight into what exactly I wanted as a VTuber
Mm-hmm,
and like what my goals were or what I want to do
mm,
and what I can do to help others as well. And just see, I got a little bit of an insight into exactly how things were running back there, and I kind of saw the writing on the wall,
mm,
and that's what sort of inspired me to create my own independent group, Virtualantes, and
yeah.
do these put a focus on like events and giving opportunities to VTubers.
Tell me about this group of Virtualantes. Is this one that you put together yourself?
Yeah, well, it's a group effort. So there's me, and so it's a group of five. We're all
Mm-hmm,
Australians,
mm-hmm,
and we've all been around for a few years. Some of our older members have been in VTubing for about 5 years now, I'd
mm-hmm,
say. We got a whole range of different experiences. So people who are partners, we've got some others like Twitch partners, people who are more started in the past year.
mm-hmm,
We all have our own different specialities and talents.
mm-hmm.
So I'm very good at organizing things. We got people who can video edit, some others who are very good at yapping. That's something I'm not too good at myself.
Oh, stop,
Um,
stop! You do
yeah,
you do great.
thank you. Yeah, we all decided to come together. We got my friend Larity. She has put so much effort into writing our lore, and
Yeah,
she's done so much work for us with the art and getting our branding together. It's
Clar-
absolutely amazing.
clarity is
And
great.
we're
Clarity
trying
is
to
great.
we're trying not to be a serious group or anything like that. Although we kind of come together and do some serious things occasionally,
Mm-hmm.
but in a way, we're kind of like an accountability group to each other and
Mm,
just there to support each other, which
yeah,
is really nice. So there's like no shame if anything doesn't work out. We're just there to give each other a pat on the back when things don't go too well and like celebrate each other when things do go well.
yeah. I think that I think that that's a great model to go by right now. Of course,
Mm,
things over time things will modify and change, and but right now to have a support group like that you can bounce off a little bit and collaborate with and work together towards things. That would be ideal, I think, at this point, especially for folks who aren't necessarily getting 25,000 people every time they turn the microphone on. um,
mm.
yeah, they're the ones we should be stealing from. I mean, getting ideas from. Um, but this type of that sounds like a very wholesome and helpful thing for everybody involved.
Yeah, I put a lot of emphasis in my work on making sure people have like healthy attitudes towards what they're doing.
Hmm.
So I tell people like you should, if you want to make a group, you can do it, but you need to make sure that you've got like good boundaries with people, you
Hmm.
have communication with each other.
Yeah.
They're people that you're trusting and not you're not doing it just for trying to leech off each other's clout. I guess that's the best way of
Yeah,
putting it.
yeah, and you're not
Not using each other.
and not using it for other types of things, and they're not using it for other types of things too. That
Mm.
boundaries is a big thing that you mentioned. That's because if it goes further than that, it just messes everything up. I don't care who you are. Um,
Yeah, that's very true.
yeah.
We've seen quite a few groups that have broken down because of a lack of communication and boundaries before, and that's something I wanted to make sure was very present in virtual antis.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, are you looking for more people?
Currently, no, we're not. I don't think we will ever expand because it's a very personal group.
Yeah.
We're all people that we have like very deep talks with each other about certain things, and I don't know bringing people in that we don't know too well would really work with that.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the idea of people going off and creating their own groups
Mm,
that are more focused on the things that are important to them.
yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, and some even if it's regional, whether it's the same type of games they like to get together, you can be in more than one. It's not
Yeah, true.
it's not against
Very
the
true.
law to do that sort of thing.
Oh.
And I think that's something that'll hammer itself out over time.
Mm.
Definitely, it's a transition period, I think, for a lot of people as far as that goes. For you and your channel, have you gotten to
Mhm.
the point now where you're satisfied where you're at, or are you looking back and saying, "Oh, I should have done this, I should have done that," at this point?
I think there's always room for regret.
Mm.
There's definitely always room for regret in everything that you do, especially like hindsight. You're like, oh, I should have done that. I should have done this. But I'm someone that lives with a lot of health issues.
Hmm.
So there's going to be times where I'm just like, there's nothing I could have done anyway. I just did the best I could. I don't have anything else I could have done better or worse.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just try to be very forgiving with myself. And where I am at the moment, I think I'm in a place where I don't know if I'll ever quite be satisfied because there's always going to be a yearning
Mm,
to do more
yeah.
and to be more.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think being satisfied with what you have sometimes makes you complacent.
Hmm.
I think you need to have something you're going to always be striving towards. Always have a goal
Yeah,
because if you have a challenge, you're always going to try and rise to it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Hmm.
it's something. It's your challenge, not somebody else's challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's some.
Although I do recommend that if your challenge is based on having a little bit of spite towards someone or something, that's perfectly fine.
That's that's what I told my wife. I actually did qualify for a pension from a radio station I worked for, which is pretty amazing in itself, considering I was 45 when I qualified. I told her,
Mm.
if I'm ever in one of those iron lung things when I'm old enough, just keep me alive enough to keep the paychecks coming until they run out of money. Now that is bitterness.
Understandable. It can actually make you it can make you do a lot of amazing things.
No,
Just a little
oh,
bit of spite.
oh yes, oh, yes, yes. It can actually make me wake up with two eyes instead of just one. Um, so one of the things about this particular field, and you mentioned having some health things going on, um,
Mhm.
that people who aren't the healthiest or aren't able to get out and about and do a lot of things necessarily are able to interact with people and show off their skills.
Oh, sorry, what was that? I think that went a little bit there.
I just say that people who do have health problems or other types of issues that don't allow them to get out and about and do some things are able to show off those skills and
Mm.
be at the same level as a lot of people who don't have those types of problems.
I think you always have to have some sort of acknowledgement of like this is what I'm able to do, this
Hmm.
is what I might be able to do, and this is what I definitely can't do.
Hmm.
And it's you can be, of course, you can definitely be envious of people who can go out and do it all, but at the same time, there's going to be people who have other restraints on them, like people who are going to be like VTubers who do their 9 to 5 job
Yeah,
and they still come home and they do things, but they kind of really wish that they had some ability to stay home and work on the content creation and things that they love.
right, right.
And yeah, so I think everyone's going to have their ups and downs, no matter if it's like health, time,
Mm,
family, other commitments, that sort of thing.
yeah. I've
Yeah.
talked to a lot of folks who have been able to use it as their way to kind of blossom where they couldn't in their own house, or they can't
Mhm.
get out and do things. I just think that's a great thing, and I hope that it continues to do that for a lot of people.
Yeah, I always find like with my health problems, but for some reason, whenever I have something go wrong, it kind of makes me more determined to overcome it.
Yeah.
Another one of those little things that, yeah, just a little bit of spite towards like the universe getting you down. So you're like, all right, I'm going to see what I can do to do something really cool and overcome it.
Yeah, I call that old age and treachery. When you get to my age, it's just like, well, let's figure out some way to get out of this.
Yep.
Leg not working right. Well, we have another leg, and we'll just use that.
Hmm. Yeah,
It
well, that's how I managed to get the that interaction zone going because even though like I've been laid up injured with a bad leg at the moment,
mm,
and I was able to do this entire booth with help from people, but I was able to run it completely digitally. I was able
wow.
to work out the logistics for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, I come from I started in radio in the '80s, so it tells you
Hmm.
how old I really am, and I'm old. Um, so when we're doing audio, certainly we didn't have anything like a streaming service, or we had satellites that got stuff. We had telephone lines that were terrible. We had video video and audio tape that we used, actual tape. And if you're going to edit
Hmm.
it, you had to pull out a pair of scissors or a knife and cut it, and
Yep. Put it together with sticky tape.
it's sticky tape. Um, the fact that technology has advanced this much in just 40 years is pretty amazing. And I don't know if we'll have that same type of advance in another 40 years, but my gosh, from I couldn't talk to you back then this way.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely not. No.
it would have cost $1 million. Um,
Hmm.
and imagine what that in inflation these days. Um, it would cost that much. It would have sounded garbagey. Um, you literally would have had to have people sitting there and plugging phones in all the way across uh, the U.S. and then over and underneath the ocean to get to you, then, and then plug in from there. But now I can just pick up the microphone in my house and and do this. Do you get to the point where you kind of realize that the people who are coming back for you and your personality are from all over the world?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's always surprising when I have people come in from other countries, especially ones where English isn't the primary language.
Mm.
So I have some viewers that have come in from like Japan or China, that sort of thing. And it's like, well, you don't even really understand what I'm saying, but they're still there for some reason. And you're like, wow, that's really cool. I'm able to
Yeah,
connect with people in a way where it doesn't really require understood language.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of it has to do with the personality and how it resonates with folks, and while you're presenting things, it always was that way for radio. And even though folks have models now, and nice little buttons and things to use with it, it still comes down to personality, I think.
It really does.
Hmm. You can have a person with a wonderful voice, a big booming radio voice, and the personality of a brickbat, and it's going to
Hmm.
sound terrible. But you don't necessarily have to have the greatest voice in the world if you're having fun with people. You can make that connection.
Yeah. I think what matters more than having a nice voice is an interesting voice.
Mm, yeah.
Something that's able to do a lot of inflections and get people connected to it.
Oh, absolutely. Did you find that easy to do after doing your content creation to start with, and then hosting that show? Was it easy for you to convert to that?
Yeah, especially since when I was doing the anime convention stuff,
Mm.
I had to do a lot of hosting on stage,
Hmm.
or I was doing things that were online as well, and I was like face to face, just like video feeds.
Hmm.
So it got easier as I went along, definitely.
Yeah. It's well.
Yeah, just like I said before, having that ability to connect with people in some way, like some sort of feedback rather than just talking into the void,
Yeah.
made it a lot more easy for me.
Yeah. And being able to kind of break down the first barriers, because everybody's got barriers when they first talk to people. Just talking to people like they're human beings, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Does make it even if they are a kaiju that is disastrous, you still talk to them like.
I
And it,
always love it when people come in. They keep creating more lore about me. Like I was the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs, or that sort of thing. Or like I like spaghetti. I break down people's walls just so I can get the spaghetti, or
you
something like that.
you created the Leaning Tower of Pisa as you were searching for spaghetti in Europe. That's how it worked.
Always
Well,
have a lot of fun with people coming in with like, oh, this is new lore about Firo, that sort of thing.
so when you're on, what do you like to do when you're on stream?
Oh, I do so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
Really depends on what sort of vibe I'm feeling for that time period, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I go through phases where I'm like, okay, I'm going to play this game obsessively for
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a month or two, and then I'm going to forget it exists. Then I'll move on to the next thing. We'll do a day where maybe we watch some. I don't really like to just passively watch things, so I try
Yeah.
to make things out of it.
Okay.
So I'll watch like spooky ghost videos, and we'll actually go through and analyze it to see where like the jump cut is, or where
Oh,
someone had like wires,
yeah,
that sort
yeah.
of thing. We try to find where the fake the fake bit of it was.
Yes.
Um, I really like organizing something. I would say I try to do an event every 3 months.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like to try and do like big events a lot, but I do like I try to do something at least once every 3 months. So earlier this year, I did a game show, a Valentine's game show.
Ooh.
So I got some people in, and I kind of tricked my friends into joining it and gave them some really surprising things. I made them go through. They thought it was going to be a dating game.
Yeah.
No, it was actually a game where they did the dating portion, then they got married, then then I surprised them by making them get divorced, and they had to go to divorce court at the end. And they had to fight over the things that they had named in previous rounds.
Wow. That's. I am very surprised that someone hasn't taken that and made it into a game show on the internet or on the satellite or cable somewhere. It sounds like a reality show.
I think someone smarter than me would probably have to work out a lot of the wrinkles in it.
No, that sounds like a lot of fun. And you obviously enjoy planning because that's what you're doing. You've got yourself in so many instances where you're planning to put together. Were you always that as a young Keiju?
Actually, so I don't know if it's been apparent so far. I have ADHD. I have really bad ADHD. So my organizational skills, like when I was younger, were absolutely zero. I would say it wasn't until I got into organizing like the anime convention stuff where I finally kind of hit my stride. I was like, oh, hang on, I know how to treat this. I just have to treat this like a puzzle, and I love puzzles. So that's what kind of did it for me. So I would still say my organizational skills are pretty bad, but it has to be something that I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
So like an anime convention, or I'm trying to do scheduling for a bunch of people for like the interaction zone, or I'm trying to shuffle things around to fit for a timetable, like for interesting subjects, that sort of thing.
Oh man, that's an awfully good skill to kind of find out, even if it's a little later. You can use that in a lot of different ways, but it really does sound like to me that you're kind of looking for things to work on. You want to have that next project coming up so you can sink your teeth into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because before I got my diagnosis for ADHD, I would say that my life wasn't really that interesting, especially since the version of ADHD I have. It makes me very sleepy when I'm disengaged. So for a lot of my life, especially after I had some things go on when I was younger,
right,
with my work, and of course I was out of work for a long time because of what happened at those previous jobs. So I would sit on the couch all day. I'd watch a little bit of YouTube or something. I'd read some stuff, and then I was so disengaged with the world that I fell asleep, and I would basically sleep my life away for like maybe 3 to 5 hours every single day. That was on top of what I'd slept at night.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a very fulfilling life. And then I started to get more involved in online communities, and I tried to create meaning out of them. And that's eventually how I got to being a VTuber. And now that's why I'm always looking for something new to do, some sort of new project, something where I can give back to what to the communities that have given me so much in return.
Yeah, I talk about people being triumphs, and it sounds like you discovered your own triumph.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, you're talking about coming from, existing, which is kind of like what you described. It you were there, uh,
Mm.
to grabbing hold of some life and yanking,
Mm.
and deciding to put it all together. That um, did that take a lot of gumption for you to do? I mean, did you have to work your way up to it, or was it just one day it all came to you?
In a way, I feel like it just came to me,
Mm.
especially after I got my diagnosis. It was a pretty fast process, surprisingly. Normally, when you get a diagnosis for ADHD, you're on the waiting list for like a year or two.
Which
I
for people
was
with ADHD is not a good thing.
No, definitely not. I was really lucky because I was talking to a friend and she had gotten diagnosed,
Uh,
and she was like, Vero, I will give you my diagnosis papers. Look through these and tell me what you see. And I was like, that's me. The answers you gave, like the questions in there, that's me.
yeah, yeah.
And she was like, you need to go get diagnosed, girl. And I was like, yeah.
Mm.
So I was extremely fortunate that someone had canceled their appointment, so I got in relatively quickly.
Mhm.
And I talked to the guy, and he gave me some tests to do with numbers that I failed immediately. And he said, "Yep, you got ADHD. Here's your prescription. You have, go look up stuff." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And from there, I was just like, my mind just clicked in, and I was on prescription medication.
Yeah,
And I finally had an opportunity to be like, "Wow, I can look up this stuff. There's heaps of other people with the same issue that I can get support from."
yeah.
And I found out as well that usually, like, women tend to get diagnoses for ADHD quite later
Mhm.
in life compared to, like, they're not as children, more
Right,
like once they're in their 20s.
right.
So, and the other thing is, like, a lot of women end up telling their friends and then they get diagnosed. So after I got my diagnosis, I went to my friend. I was like, "Girl, you have ADHD too. I can tell now." So she went and got her diagnosis.
Yeah, it spreads like wildfire through the community. But it
It's almost like some sort of pyramid scheme.
yeah, it's true, and you've just uncovered the entire scheme. So so much for that. It's over with. Um, with that though, was there kind of that aha moment? This is why I do this.
Oh yeah, real yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about so many things now. Um, because when you don't understand your brain very well,
Mhm.
you're going to do things and you're just not going to understand it. But once you have an idea, like once you have that word, you can look up things and see familiar experiences other people have got. You're like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
this isn't something that just happens. This is something that my brain does. You kind of have a bit of a disconnect between like your processes of your brain and
Mhm.
yourself.
Yeah.
Um, so then you're like, okay, well that means I can, instead of that guiding me and tearing me around the place, I can grab hold of it and I can hold the reins and I
Mm,
can control it better.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once you have that control and you're able to steer it a little bit into some things that you really did want to do, whether you had the
Hmm.
gumption to do it or not, you did want to do these things. Then your world opens up.
Yeah. Like I said, I was sleeping my life away because I wasn't able to get engaged with the world.
Mm,
So finding something I could finally grasp a hold of and be like, this is something I can do now. This is something where I can make an impact, where I can feel like my life is fulfilling
mm,
and it's something that I can control. Like maybe it doesn't look that big to other people on the outside, but to me, like this VTubing basically saved my life, I
wow,
would say.
that is very inspiring, whether you want it to be or not. It is,
Hmm.
and people listen to that, and I hope they do, and they get to think, maybe I don't have ADHD, maybe I don't have this, that, or the other thing, but I give it a shot. And if I like it and I enjoy it, then I'm going to keep trying to do it. And
Mm.
I'm going to, and if it's, sometimes it's not for people. It just doesn't work. Um, sometimes you discover something that you didn't know you had. Um, and I hate things that situations, and it's just personal on my part, I guess, that people seem to be wasted in some ways, where there's something in there, but they don't realize it themselves, or there's no outlet for them to express that, because I think everybody's got some type of gift
Hmm.
to bring. I don't think they're here just to irritate me, although that might be a gift too. But this is given that opportunity, and it's given you an opportunity too. So many folks I've talked to, that opportunity to really get your roots in and start exploring what it's like to really be you.
Oh,
Am-
sorry. What it's, gosh. I'm just thinking about the answer for this one.
huh.
Um,
How far? How
there's a
far off
reason
am I?
why there's a reason why I try so hard with everything I do,
Uh huh.
because I really want to throw myself into things. I really want to experience things to the fullest, compared to like one of the regrets I do have, even though I couldn't have done anything about it, was losing so much of my life to not being engaged in anything and not being passionate about anything.
Mm-hmm.
So now I just want to try and make up for that lost time and that lost ability to do things when I was younger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're doing a heck of a job. I mean, being able to organize these things and put things together and have your group going and being able to stream and uh, if I met you back then, I probably wouldn't recognize you now. Uh,
Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of people have said that to me in the past as well. People who knew me when I was like early, like after I left high school, that sort of thing. They probably wouldn't recognize me now.
yeah, yeah, and that's amazing. That is I talk about people being triumphs, and that is definitely one. Um, so I hope you get to feel that every day.
I'm
Um,
trying my best.
yeah, because it's wonderful to hear that when somebody gets that opportunity, is able to grab a hold of it and enjoy what their surroundings and making things out of it. And you have done that in absolute aces. Um, and I'm glad, because I get a chance to talk with a wonderful person, and we get to hear that voice, which is wonderful, and that personality. Uh, Looks like we're winning too.
I think so.
So, what's your next big plan online?
Oh gosh. Well, now that we've done the interaction zone this year, we're hoping that we can do it again next year.
Mm-hmm.
Try and expand it a little bit in some way, like iron out all the wrinkles, that sort of thing that we encountered.
Yeah.
Um, I do want to try and get in contact with more conventions
Mm-hmm.
and try to facilitate getting VTubers to them as well.
Yeah.
So I've been in talks with another convention in Australia at the moment, trying to see what exactly I can set up for them. It won't be the same thing, but I'm trying to come up with new ideas to get VTubers in that aren't just like simple meet and greets. Because one of the things is like a lot of small VTubers can't go to conventions because they don't have the ability to draw an audience.
Right.
But I want to try and make it that VTubers can get that experience going to a convention
Mm.
through making them attractive to attendees through different means.
Mm.
So I have to come up with a lot of different ideas.
Wow. I mean, that is that's really something to hear. If you could play back just that last couple of minutes of what you're talking about and play that to the person who was sitting around watching YouTube all day, they'd be like, "Who are you?"
I don't think I would recognize myself at all.
Yeah, it's really something to hear, and to hear the joy in your voice when you say that sort of thing, because it's very obvious. Um, Means you're enjoying yourself so much, and this is, and you've embraced it, and it's embraced you. It's such a heartwarming type of thing,
Hmm.
and I just wish all of the best to continue for you, because by golly, you deserve it after all that, and pulling yourself up and getting in this situation. That takes a lot of rocks a lot of folks wouldn't have.
Oh, thank you.
And a lot of talent too. So, folks, you got to check out and see what Firo's got going on. And we're going to have the links that we have in the description for this video. And please, when you get some of this stuff coming up, these big events, let us know so we can promote it a little bit and kind of push it a little for everybody out there. because you deserve to be heard, and your work does too. Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm really hoping I can bring some exciting things to VTubers all over the world.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on and spend some time with the old man. We'll do it again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.